Let's continue thinking about control systems and look at a feedback control system. And we'll just take a look as to what that means. And in this feedback control system, I want to look at predator prey relationships. So if you have studied some kind of ecology, you will know that there is a relationship in an environment or in an ecosystem between how many predators are there and how many preys are there. So, so basically, the idea works like this. So if you have a lot of prey, okay, so some kind of animals that are eaten by another kind of animals. So let's say the prey is rabbits and the predator are foxes, okay. So as the number of rabbits increase in the ecosystem is able to support more number of foxes because the foxes eat the rabbits and they have enough nutrition available, so the number of foxes starts to increase. But if the number of foxes increase, what happens to there are more predators and they eat a lot more of the rabbits and the numbers of the rabbits start to go down. As the number of the rabbits start to go down, there is less and less food available for the foxes, and therefore the number of foxes starts to reduce as well. Okay, so this is the kind of uh, uh, numbers. This is how the numbers would move uh, um, in this ecosystem. So let me just kind of show you diagrammatically what I was talking about. So let's think about this prey population. So if you have some rabbits, okay, and they reproduce, they give birth to more rabbits, and as you have more births, what happens to the population of the rabbits? It increases. If you have more rabbits, what happens to the number of birds? It increases, right? So this is this kind of a relationship where an increase in the prey population results in an increase in births, and increase in births results in an increase in population is called a positive feedback loop, right? So an increase of one of the quantities is resulting in an increase in the other quantity. Now, a similar positive relationship would also exist for predator population and predator birds, right? So if you have more predators, you will have a higher density of predators, or actually this is predation density, which means that how many animals do they eat, right? So if you have more population, you will have a higher predation density, and that means that you'll have more birds. More birds means more population, which means more density, which means more birds, and so it keeps on going. So this is again a positive loop, right? You can also see that the higher the prey population, you will have a higher predation density, right? Because you have more rabbits available for the foxes to eat. So it is easier for the foxes to catch the rabbits, and therefore the predation density is increasing. So both these loops are positive feedback loops. Okay. Now think about what happens here. Now, as the predation density increases, what happens to the number of prey deaths? Of course, it increases, right? So the predation density increases. That means more predators are eating more prey. So the number of prey deaths increase. And if the number of prey deaths increase, what happens to the prey population? It goes down, right? And as the prey population goes down, the predation density also goes down. So this loop is a negative feedback loop, right? Because the increase of one of these quantities is going to result in kind of the control of this quantity. So take any uh, part of the loop. So let's say for some reason prey deaths increase. What is going to happen to the prey population? It is going to decrease, and because the prey population decreases, the predation density is going to decrease, And because the predation density decreases, the prey deaths are going to decrease, right? So we started off with an increase in prey death, and what happens as you go through the loop? The prey deaths actually reduce. So this kind of a loop, which tries to maintain the value of the number of these quantities in the loop constant, right? Is called a negative feedback loop. You will have a negative feedback loop on the predator side as well. As you have a higher predation density, what would happen to the predator deaths? It would increase, and as the predator deaths increase, what is going to happen to the predator population? It is going to decrease. Okay, and because of the decrease in predator population, you're going to have an increase in predation density, and this keeps going on again and again, right? And again, that's a negative feedback loop again. So what I wanted to introduce here with this slide is basically positive feedback and negative feedback. So positive feedback results in basically uncontrolled growth in the values of the quantities that are there in the loop, while negative feedback results uh, in bringing the quantity back and kind of stabilizing the numbers in the loop.